While there have been people enjoying Mortal Kombat 1, it has been surrounded in controversy from the Nintendo Switch release to the Predatory DLC that people have been calling out. But now there is another situation to talk about because they have released a paid fatality and it is causing a major uproar. I have a few different things that I want to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, follow me on social media, and consider supporting through Patreon or via YouTube memberships. So I wanted to start off with this SVG article. It says Mortal Kombat 1's paid fatality is causing an uproar. And I want to start this video off with saying if you have purchased this game and you are enjoying it and you're loving it, that is great. And I'm so glad to hear that you have been having fun with it, because ultimately that's what video games are about. But I do think that these things are extremely important to point out, and there have been several situations with this game that, in my opinion, are just unacceptable. It says, earlier this week, Mortal Kombat 1 officially got into the Halloween spirit by launching a few spooky map updates and offering some premium alternate costumes in the in-game store. Among these offerings is a variant of Johnny Cage's mansion, which is crawling with creepy Easter eggs and sight gags appropriate for the scariest of holidays, a Day of the Dead-themed outfit for Scorpion, and a Halloween-centric fatality. Although the variant maps are free to all players, the fatality will be added to the premium store. It says fatalities, of course, have long been one of the defining characteristics of the Mortal Kombat series, allowing combatants to brutally obliterate their opponents with a few quick button inputs. And now there are even people that are calling for boycotts over this. Now, I think that it is unacceptable to put things like paid fatalities into a game, because you are talking not about a free-to-play title that I could just go and download, play a bunch of hours for free, and not have to swipe my credit card. We are talking about a game that its base version costs $70, and then you have special editions that cost $100. It is unacceptable that you expect people to pay $100 for a game, 70 to 100, but then on top of that also pay for things like fatalities. I think that holiday themed things like these fatalities should be free, especially when you're giving other items to people for free, like the as it says, the variant maps are free to all players. If you're willing to give that away for free, which you should be in the first place, you should be giving all of it away for free, because we're talking about the core of Mortal Kombat here. Fatalities are so special. You shouldn't be charging people $5, in this case, for something like a fatality, right? I know that there are going to be people out there who are going to say things like, oh, it doesn't matter, having paid skins in the game. Oh, it's just $10 for a skin or $15 for a skin. Oh, in this case, it's just $5 for a fatality. No, it is not acceptable, okay? You are charging us full AAA prices for this game. That means that you should be creating content for me, the person who has already swiped my credit card and supported your game and bought your product, not expecting me to shell out even more money to your company. There are people out there who are going to say, oh, it doesn't really matter, they're just, skins and cosmetics and you don't have to buy them. Then why aren't the characters just stick figures, okay? Why don't all of the fatalities do the same thing and they're just very generic and you punch someone in the face, their skull gets crushed and that's it? No, because fatalities are special. The way that the game looks, the aesthetic is special and makes this game very unique. That is why it matters so much that you expect people to swipe their credit card over and over again. It's just not okay. And it says Mortal Kombat 1 fans are rallying against this Halloween fatality. One of the most common complaints from fans is the fact that they've already paid a handsome fee for the game, over $100 in some cases for people who have picked up things like collector's editions. The idea of dropping even more money to unlock a new move feels wrong to most of the player community, and some have argued that the specialty fatality should be completely free, while others have said they'd be happy if NetherRealm made the move unlockable through a limited time event. I think that this would be acceptable too, not just simply giving it away, but making players actually play play the game for a little while in order to earn it, I think that that would be perfectly fine. But no, they're not doing that. The only way to currently get this fatality is by swiping your credit card. People are, of course, memeing on this, which I definitely appreciate. It's just a very unfortunate situation all around, and I think that most people are fine with coping through things like memes. But there are people saying things like, I imagine Mortal Kombat's large casual audience will happily reward this. NetherRealm has yet to respond to the uproar among MK1 players, many of whom clearly feel like they're getting more of a trick than a treat. I don't think that they're going to respond. I think that they probably already thought this through, knew that it was inevitably going to face some backlash, but they still went ahead with it. And keep in mind, this is not the first time that players are calling out Mortal Kombat 1 over predatory premium store DLC. I did previously talk about this in another video, but it of course is one of the most talked about problems with Mortal Kombat 1 players have been the game since it launched its premium store, which hadn't been updated once since its early access launch, despite a timer saying it would be changed every 24 hours, and then it says they had finally changed it with the arrival of Deadly Alliance Scorpion and the Indiana Jones skin for Johnny Cage and an announcer pack, but then it is paid. That might seem like good news, but it's not exactly how the community had viewed it. Since the store was updated, the Mortal Kombat subreddit has been full of posts complaining about the high price of the DLC, with the Deadly Alliance Scorpion skin costing 1,000 Dragon Crystals, which will run players about $10, which, it has been called out many times now as predatory, and people have pointed out that some skins in the premium store actually cost more than a whole character does in the combat pack, and that it's a huge increase from Mortal Kombat 11, which sold some of its skins in packs of 3 for around $6, working out to about $2 per character. There is a big difference between $2 versus $10 for a skin. In my opinion, moves like this are just unacceptable. But NetherRealm has done this over and over and over, not just in this game, but with each game they've tried to push the limits a little bit more, and now players are becoming uncomfortable with the things that they're doing. Predatory premium store DLCs, this paid fatality is causing an uproar, and I'm glad to see it because people should be fighting back against things like this. We do not pay $70 to simply get access to a game. We should be paying $70 for access to a game, for special skins, for the updates, for cosmetics, for a slew of different items. And if this was a free-to-play game, I would feel very differently and say they need to make money some way, so okay, $5 for a paid fatality might not be that bad, but in this case it is a full price AAA game, and doing things like this, releasing things like paid fatalities, in my and many other people's opinions, are completely unacceptable. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this and of course found it important and informative, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.